Welcome, welcome, welcome to Empowered Women in Business International Radio. I'm your host, Nicole Mosby Taylor, also known as Taylor K on the mic, and we have a phenomenal show for you. I know I say that every week, but it's always phenomenal. We have a phenomenal show with some phenomenal guests. We have I'm not even going to introduce them yet, but I am going to tell you a little secret. We're going to be talking about how couples are coping during this COVID season, and how are they getting ready, preparing for Valentine's Day. Will they make it extra special? So we're going to be hearing from them shortly. But first, let me just tell you a little bit about EWBI. So EWBI, we serve a sisterhood of women entrepreneurs who understand that individually you can do great things, but collectively we can forever change the world. Members of our movement experience a support system that allows them to celebrate their wins and share their struggles in a series of opportunities them personally and professionally. If that sounds like an organization that you are a part of, visit our website at www.ewbiradio.org. Again, that's www.ewbiradio.org. Our quote of the day: you must be the change you wish to see in the world. You must be the change you wish to see in the world, by Gandhi. And the reason I chose that quote is because one of our guests, it's one of her favorite quotes. And it really speaks to not only EWBI's organization, because we constantly give back, but it speaks to these two individuals that we have as our guests this evening. They are always giving back, helping others, helping families, businesses, you name it. They are all about philanthropy. They're an amazing couple, and I just can't wait for you to meet them. So without further ado, if I want to have Lisa Borton and Kelly Bay Borton come on so that you guys can meet them. Welcome, Lisa and Kelly. Unmute.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Jack is fine. So it's such a pleasure to have you both on. I'm not going to read your bios. I'm going to just give you both an opportunity to just say a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll just go on from there. So whichever one wants to go first.
Okay, you want to go, Lee?
We apologize for these dogs.
Sorry.
I'm Lisa Borden, President and CEO of Borden Consulting and Borden Transportation. We provide, small business consulting, and we also provide transportation services, chauffeured services, sedans, vans, limousines, sprinters, you name it.
You name it.
You name it. Okay, so I am Kelly Bay Borton. I am the CEO of Flawless Faces Makeup Artistry and Cosmetics. We provide makeup artistry services in any, type of situation, wedding to video shoot, anything. We have myself as the lead makeup artist, and then I have other artists under me. And then we also have a full line of cosmetics that we offer. So that's where we are. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn as Flawless Faces Makeup Artistry.
Okay, awesome. And she does an amazing job, as you can see.
Oh, thank you.
Now, what I'm confused about is you didn't mention, or Lisa didn't mention, that she does celebrity makeup.
What I try to do is give her her due. And by me being a celebrity makeup stylist, traveling the world, doing makeup for all types of celebrities that I cannot name because of the non-disclosures that are signed, I don't want to take away from her. This is really her lane. I just kind of jumped in that lane, and then I just kind of shot past her. But, I don't want to focus on that.
So clearly she's doing me a favor, as you can see.
Oh my goodness. That's why I wanted to have you guys on. A lot of couples they're talking about, domestic violence is on the rise during this time. And so
I understand.
so what do you guys do to kind of navigate through that?
I
This
think
COVID period.
I think first of all we like each other, so that's a big thing. I think you have a lot of people who, one person works this time, they're like passing like ships in the night, and COVID has made everybody kind of sit still and quarantine. So then you have to face each other, and if you don't like each other, there's a lot of things that are going to come. So I think starting with we actually like each other. So that made quarantine a lot easier. We are not only spouses, but we're partners in life and in business. So this time has made us kind of refocus, rethink, really put some business practices in play. Think about 2020 and 2022. I mean, 2021, all last year, and then still, as we're still dealing with COVID, thinking about 2022. But we have stayed busy with just doing a lot of things that Lisa actually is good at being the kind of brain behind. Lisa, you want to get into some of the activities that you've kind of spearheaded for us?
You mean like
The
outside of the house?
outings and the.
Well, it's important to. I think it's important to make sure that each of us, our mental health, is where it needs to be. And no matter what, if you're in the house for a long period of time, days, weeks, if you can get out even for an hour, even for 2 hours for a ride in the car, or to go pick up something to eat, or eat outside when it was warmer. I've been just trying to be creative and find things for us to do, whether we go to a winery, we just ride over the bridge and eat food outside, or just pick something up. You have to be creative. We did like a sip and paint in the house where I got paint by numbers, and I just set up the table and had wine for her. And, we watched TV, and she just did a paint by numbers. You have to just be a creative to try to keep everybody's in the right frame of mind, everybody's spirits up, and to keep it interesting.
Right. So, in Top Golf.
In Top
Yeah, and
Golf.
that's what I was gonna say. We were doing
Yeah.
a lot of early on in the quarantine, trying to stay active too, because you find yourself you in the house and you're doing this,
Yeah.
and then you're in the house and you're just sitting, and switching from being at a school, because I'm a special educator full time. So I lead my school special ed program. So I don't have a class, but I'm in and out of classrooms observing and teachers, getting documents, and I'm all over the place. And so going from being busy and going up and down 3 flights of steps to just I'm sitting like this in front of my laptop every day, all day, I'm working, but I'm sitting still. And it would be Lisa when I log off to say, well, let's go for a walk, or let's go play tennis, or let's go to the golf range. Top Golf kind of came later on in the quarantine, because at first we were actually going to an actual golf site, but we weren't golfing. We would just hitting balls at the range. But that was activity. We would do that for like an hour or so, and it would just get you up and moving. And we were going to Catonsville High School and walking the track for an hour. Walking the neighborhood. Like, we've stayed busy, but it's been intentional. With, hey, let's close our rings on our Apple Watches, or let's get X amount of steps in, and just kind of motivating each other to get up, get busy. I mean, we've, done a lot during quarantine. And like Lisa said, if it's no more than let's drive over the bridge and grab food and come on back, or, we've just tried to stay as busy as we can to keep our spirits up.
I think, Kelly, you hit that nail on the head when you said you have to like each other.
Yeah.
So many couples are married and they might even love each other, but they don't like each other. So like spending time is like a chore, and that can be problematic in a relationship. So it's important for you to be able to find things that you enjoy doing together, especially during COVID. So how long have you ladies been married?
Lisa?
Because you always defer to me because I'm not sure. 11 years.
Together 13, married
Almost
11.
13.
Yeah.
And I think, because you guys joke and have a good time together, that helps. You know what I mean? It just seems like the laughter is always, the ailment. So, like, being able, of course, like any relationship, you're going to have those down periods, but as long as you guys can come back together. And so what do you do when you have those down periods?
Well, I'll take this one. Well, there were even 2 days where she went to stay at a hotel over the bridge, and it wasn't that we had any issues. It's just that she wanted to have some time out of the household, and it was fine. We have there's sometimes when
We'll go to different levels of
yeah,
the
there are
house.
different
She's talking
levels of the
about
house.
what we do when we have times that are not so good. So that wouldn't count because that wasn't
Don't
a
see
bad.
eye to eye when you don't see
Right.
eye to eye.
So we'll go to different levels of the house, especially during quarantine. Go for a ride. I'll be like, look, I'll be back. Or we do well with she'll be in one room, watching TV and working. I'm in my office or in another room watching my show and working. So although we're in the same house, we haven't been right up on top of each other. So we haven't felt smothered.
Mm,
Um, and she may go for a ride or go say, "Hey, I'm run whatever," and I'll go separately. We still are able to kind of have our own lives. I'm virtual with my girlfriends, doing Zooms, doing game nights virtually. Having cook-offs virtually. Different things, and then she does what she does with her friends via Zoom. So we still are, although we're in the same house, we're still able to have our own lives, and that keeps us sane too.
right. Let's talk about Lisa and her gift giving during holidays. You want to speak to that, one of you?
Um, from a young age, I dealt with death, and I lost people, and I realized how quickly someone could be gone. They could be here 1 hour and gone the next, here one day and wake up the next morning and they didn't wake up. So I always thought it was really important to make sure that you show people how you feel about them. And you don't have to just do it in actual gifts, but it's really the sentiment behind the gift. It's the, that you put this thought into somebody. So I just try to make it. I'm so sorry. I also wanted to make sure that our relationship started continued however it starts. So I don't want to start off giving flowers and doing things, and then once I have her, or once we're married, then that's it. Because if you don't continue it, then sometimes you have that space or you have issues. So I try to be creative, especially with quarantine. But I try to be creative all the time and do thoughtful gifts, make it a little bit interesting. Shaq. Sorry. Make it a little bit interesting. You need creativity in a relationship.
Right,
So
definitely.
she started like since our first year together with the 12 days of Christmas, and then came the days of Valentine's Day, and that has stayed consistent because a lot of people were like, "Oh, wait a couple years, that'll go away," but it never did. You know,
Wow, isn't that
it's been nice
special?
and it's creative, and it's not like for Valentine's Day, it hasn't been like she said about a price or a big expensive gift. It's my favorite things. So it might be Jamaican food and, a Mai Tai or whatever, but it's just small things, but they're big things to me.
Right, right. Wow, so thoughtful. And how about you, Kelly? With giving Lisa gifts, do you find that it's hard to kind of, not that you want to compete with your partner, but how do you find that it's hard to match her fly, because that's pretty nice and
You
thoughtful
know what?
to do.
I don't, because um I don't try to compete with her or match her, because Lisa does her own thing, and she and I both are on the same page with always wanting to spoil each other. I think I post, Lisa's more private, so she doesn't really post, but we're kind of on the same page. She's a little bit more elaborate. She's the more emotional and sentimental of the two. I'm just not as sentimental. But we with me it's easy because Lisa is so easygoing. So I think about the businesses. I think about things that, because she's such a giving spirit, she doesn't often stop to buy things for herself. So I think about things that she needs, while holidays come around, people are like, what should I get Lisa? I'm like, you can get her blah blah blah, but they're getting her things she may want. I'm getting her things that she needs and things that I know will make her smile. Like the golfing for Christmas, I got her a little faux golf course, and just different things. So that I don't try to compete with her. I just try to think of things that I know she can use toward one of the businesses or for herself.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys are listening to Empowered Women in Business International. Don't hesitate to drop a question for this beautiful couple here. They're one of my favorite couples. I tell them that all the time. But
Thank
it's something about watching you guys on Makeup Monday and just knowing you guys and just seeing all of the philanthropy work that you do that just makes people just draw to you guys. So and we're
thank
going to get
you.
into talking more about your business during the second half. I wanted to kind of focus on um, Terry says, TJ says, it seems they haven't forgotten to be best friends. I love it.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
definitely. What would you guys say to that?
I mean, definitely, it wouldn't work, and this quarantine wouldn't have worked if she wasn't my best friend. Because before all else, we have that friendship, and like I started with early on in the segment, we actually really like each other. So it makes this like I think by the end of summer, early, like as it was getting into autumn season, we were kind of like, oh, this is flown by. Like this has been really easy. Because if you had asked me how I would do in quarantine with Lisa before quarantine, honey, take me now, but it actually has been really easy. And we have had so much laughter, so much creativity. And if anything, I think it's made us stronger. But we've really enjoyed each other during quarantine. There's days. However, for the most part, we've done really well. And we do genuinely like each other.
So let me ask you this, Kelly. I think this is the first time anybody's asked you. How do you like Lisa singing?
Hate it. I didn't even have to blink with that one. Hate it.
That remind me of Color Purple. I mean Color.
It's
What
so
you call
good.
it? Hated it.
Hated it.
I thought she was gonna say it.
Ronnie hated it. Yes.
Yes, I'm
And
jealous.
living
It seems like you
color.
always, now the thing is that even though you hate it, you still, I'm gonna say, put up with it, for a lack of better words, because you encourage her to come out and say you already know what she's going to do for Makeup Monday. So you're like, you might be talking like, here she go again with this stuff, but then you allow her to do her thing and you give her time, and
It's something small, and I figure if it makes her happy, and then it really makes people happy. And why not? Because if people had been on like, oh, this is too much, I would have been like, Lee, you cut. But the fact that people are like, where's Lisa? We want a song. I'm like, going, it's going to give me a headache, but I can sacrifice myself. Going to get the people what they want. But no, she enjoys it, and it also allows people to see. And I think that was one of the things that for me early on, it allowed people to see a different side of Lisa. Because with Lisa, if you met Lisa in business mode, she's not so nice. And a lot of, and not to,
I'm nice, but I'm not.
but
Tight,
she's serious, and she's very,
right.
so that's the Lisa that a lot of people have known for a lot of years. So through Makeup Monday, but it's different when you have to be somebody's boss and you're responsible for people's livelihood and cutting the checks. And, so that's how she's had to be. And even aside from board and transportation, with dealing with board and consulting and working with Baltimore City Schools and all of her principals, it's serious when you're dealing with budgeting and jobs and people's livelihoods. So they had not, and she had so many of her principals that come on Makeup Monday, and they are like, is this Lisa? Because nobody had seen this side of
That's
Lisa.
right.
So Makeup Monday has allowed people to see Lisa in a different light. So I enjoy it.
So we're talking about Makeup Monday, but I'm sure a lot of people on here like, what is Makeup Monday? So you guys want to speak to that?
Makeup Monday is an info dramedy starring Sis and me. Basically, she does makeup live, and we talk about different topics. And I also perform songs. I sometimes tap. I sometimes rap, and it's just a great time.
And prior to COVID, we were doing live makeup Monday, and we were trying to do it like once a month. And it really is. We just have fun. It started with me just doing makeup, but I am very matter of fact and like, okay, so this is what you're doing. This is the look.
It was a
And then Lisa,
fest.
it was not.
It was a snooze
And then
fest.
Lisa came on and started funning around and tap dancing and singing, and people just loved it. So Lisa has stayed. It's been about 3 years for me doing it, and then about 2 years for her joining me. So it's been fun. And we come on every Monday at 9 p.m. on my Facebook page.
And normally Lisa has on her costume, and so Lady T from Baltimore Housewives said, she said, great business women.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tony.
But yes, so you didn't bring your
Readily available.
costume, no props, huh? Not
It's
available.
readily available at any moment.
Oh,
Also,
And everything she
you
wears
gonna give
on
us a
set
song
is
before we go?
mine.
You gonna give us a song before we break for commercial?
why does Jack hate my singing? Yes. Right now? Right now, perform?
Sure.
Okay.
Now, normally, she has lighting. She has a mic, a
My
hat, sunglasses. So this
dog.
is a little different for her. But
Okay.
You sing, I'll get the dog.
Yeah, these dogs. I apologize. Okay. I made up private tap dancer. Every week on Makeup Monday, people wanna see me dance. Even though responsibility to please my fans. It caused a lot of tension between my wife and me. Seems she has a problem with my newfound celebrity. So I promise I'll be her private tap dancer for sis only. Whenever sis wants me to. I'm her private tap dancer for sis only. Whenever sis wants me to. I'm her private tap dancer
Lord.
for sis only. Whenever sis wants me to. Just her private tap dancer for sis only. Whenever sis wants me to.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem.
She just has me dying laughing every Monday, especially if I've been working all day. It's like I'll be like, oh, I look up at the time. I'm like, let's hop on. I just need a little laughter in my life. But not only on Makeup Monday do they have, is it fun? You're learning how to put on makeup, but then they talk about serious topics. So you want to talk about, Lisa gives stock tips, and they talk about goal setting.
Yeah, we definitely try to be like accountability partners. We ask every week for people to share something good that's happened to them over the week for the Tell Me Something Good segment of the show. And I do talk about stocks because I want to try to encourage as many people to get involved in stocks as possible. I think most of us didn't have parents that taught us about these things, and it's not conversations that we always have. So I'm here. If you want to learn about them, reach out to me, inbox me. I don't care, who you are, where you are. I want to try to get people involved so we can get more kids involved, so that by the time they are 30, 35, 40, they really have some money built up because we got them shares and stuff early.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that on our second half. So everyone just keep it locked right here to Empowered Women in Business International Radio. We have our first advertisement. And our first advertisement is from Taylor Made the Label. So if you need your lashes done, so I have on strip lashes right now, but if you need individuals done, or if you would like to purchase strip lashes, you can reach out to Taylor Made the Label, and they're running a Valentine's Day special that's about to appear in a second. So don't forget to keep it locked right here at ewbiradio.org.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tied together, victorious. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the wind-swept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. You are tuned into Empowered Women in Business International, and we are having a conversation with the Bortons, Lisa and Kelly Bay Borton, and we're just talking about Valentine's Day and how couples are coping during the COVID crisis. So, welcome back, ladies.
Glad to be back.
So let's talk a little bit about business. So Kelly, when did you start makeup, and when did you realize that it was more than just like a hobby, but something that you really a passion of yours that you wanted to turn into a business?
So I started doing cosmetology in high school. Did it for my 11th and 12th grade year and worked in a salon. So I was doing hair, nails, and makeup. And although I enjoyed hair and nails because I think I'm just creative in all areas. So I was doing the designs and, people were, and then I just got bored with the hair and nails, and I realized that makeup was my passion. So that started at an early age, and then I was happy to be able to do it, but knowing that makeup was what I wanted to do full time was about 18 years old. And I enjoyed the to be able to almost recreate someone and the look when you did their face and when they see themselves, and it just almost it just felt like, wow, I have the power to transform someone and to make someone feel beautiful. Although I always talk about with beauty should start within, but it's something when you're having a bad day or just feeling some kind of way, putting on a little bit of lipstick or just kind of glamming yourself up a bit, what a pick-me-up that can be for people. So I've always enjoyed it, and then it grew into really a demand with me working at Bath and Body Works part-time. So I've been in the school system since I was 19. And then I was working part-time at Bath and Body Works, and people just would come in and always compliment my face and say, could you do my wedding? And I'm just like, okay, because I wasn't thinking about doing it professionally, but then people kind of made me like, no, you should be doing this. And then shortly after, Mac picked me up. And that boosted my confidence, and my clientele built even more. And then it was like, I think I want to do this on my own. So I created my own lane and just kind of was a makeup artist for several years. And then I created my cosmetic line in 2015.
Awesome. Well, I just kind of jumped right in with the questions, and I didn't even talk about that phenomenal video that we just got to hear. Did you guys hear that video? You want to share your thoughts about Allison? I believe her. I'm always jacking up names, y'all. Allison Gordon. Okay.
Yeah, inspiring. You just watch it and you can't help but we watched the inauguration the day of, and we've seen that poem several times since, and it's just inspiring, uplifting, and you just feel proud.
Yes.
She just gives me the chills that I used to get from Maya Angelou, and no one has given that to me that I felt that connection to, and I have it with her. I heard her with the Super Bowl read a poem at the Super Bowl, and it was
Yeah.
the same thing. She has that it factor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to spotlight her just for, this is Black History Month, and we just, know she's not. Well, she's well known now after the inauguration, but prior to she wasn't. But I just think it's important for us to take time to spotlight people that's really doing great things in our community. And they say her brother is a does spoken word or poetry as well.
Okay,
So,
so it runs in the family.
yeah, yeah. So let's look at some of our comments, and then we're gonna finish with our so Miss Linda says very true to something that we were saying. Barbara Moore said absolutely mental health and stimulation is very important any day, especially through this pandemic.
Yes.
Um TJ says it seems that I read that quote. I read that. And David says, our Black women are amazing. I love the fact that Valentine's Day will be home alone with a quiet dinner.
Yes.
That's so true.
Yes.
My husband said, excellent job. Thanks
Oh,
for
thank
saying
you.
Too.
so. So just talk a little bit. So I really like the fact that you found out something that you was passionate about, Kelly, and then you said you said a key word within that. You said that you once you got the confidence.
Yes.
And I think that plays such a big part because so many people, things are birthed in them, but they don't have that confidence to project it or to execute what's birthed in them.
Yep.
So what gave you now I know people telling you, but what else? Because it had to be more, something that you had to find within yourself, I believe.
I just
Something
wanted
you
to
just
take
gotta
that
dig deep.
leap. Yeah, I just wanted to take that leap. I can't say what, but it's funny because you're right. The same thing that people saw in me, I've seen in other artists as I've, gone along, and I'll say, "Hey, come to this wedding with me." And I had one young lady specifically, it would always be, "Oh no, I'm sick," and I would just smile and I would say to Lisa, "She's scared," and I had to say to her, "When you're ready." I'm ready to put some money in your pocket, but you have to do it when you're ready. But you're ready even if you don't realize it, because if you don't start somewhere, and one thing was going with me, and this is, I'm talking about makeup, but with any job, if you have a good mentor, they're not going to let you fail. So I've done weddings with artists I've brought along with me, and it's their first wedding. So the worst thing you can think of is messing up somebody's makeup on their wedding day and them having those pictures. But we got to the suite, and I said, "Nope, you do the bride." And she was looking at me, and I said, "You got it." But I was standing right there with her. I wouldn't have let her mess up this young lady's pictures. But that confidence was something that you can't pay for, because when she finished that bride, and I would look at her and say, "Blend a little more," I would just along the way very quietly say, or blend or whatever. And when she was done, that was a confidence. And she was like, "I can't believe it." And she just talked about it for the longest time. But I've always been somebody, and I guess it's the teacher in me too. I love teaching. I love having people under my wing, and I'm not going to let anybody under me fall or fail. But I don't know where that confidence comes from. But it helps to have people along the way push you and say, "You got this," or to just be confident in yourself and know that, if you don't take a step, you're gonna mess up along the way. If you saw makeup from when I first started, honey, it wasn't good. But had I not done those not so good photos and look back at them and say, "Ooh, I got to blend better," or "I got to, match the foundation up better," you'll sit still as long as you aren't confident, and as long as you're not willing to leap out. You have to in any position, photography, transportation. Oh my God, they might get in an accident, I might mess up their photos, but how do you know if you don't? If you don't practice and
That's
if
right.
you don't take leaps of faith, no one is born with this exquisite, you might have that passion, but you have to do hard work to get to where you want to be.
That's right. That's right. So Lisa, wearing 1,000 hats. So you have Borton Holding LLC, which is like your umbrella for your other businesses, right?
Yes.
So tell us what made you start the Borton Holding LLC for the other businesses? What was your deciding factor to just not have a business here and a business there, but creating that structure?
With one LLC, you don't have to pay different taxes for different entities. I can just have one main entity and then trading as, you know, trade doing business as or trading as businesses under those. Because to me, it just doesn't make sense to spread yourself that thin and you would be CEO of multiple companies when you could be CEO of one and it does multiple things. And I always knew I wanted to have multiple businesses and just have them under the umbrella.
Okay. So now tell us a little bit about Borton Consulting and how that came about.
I was going to college at University of Baltimore. My mother was principal of Utah Marshburn, which is 5 minutes from that school. So in between the breaks of the classes, she said, "Why don't you just come on over?" Okay, I'll come over. So I would be in her office, and then she said she would walk to school. She said, "Well, check my email while you're in there." Okay, so I checked the email. I'd fix computers. I'd run supplies. I'd do anything. As your mother. So she tells you or asks you to do it, you do it. One day she asked me to pay an invoice, and I didn't know how to pay the invoice, so she sent me over to the area office with the area budget manager, and she taught me how to pay an invoice and do a budget amendment. After that, some of her other principal colleagues heard that I was doing her budget, and of course I couldn't get paid because I was her daughter, but they said, "Oh, well, we'll hire you, we'll pay you," because a lot of principals want to focus on instruction and that piece. They don't want to be mini CEOs, which is essentially what they have to do. So budget is just not something that they were really into. And when they did have the knowledge, they just didn't have the time. And it developed into a whole business with multiple schools. And it's now been like 12, 13, 14.
Wow.
It was like 2006. So 15 years.
Wow. And not only do you consult with the school system, but you consult with private businesses and nonprofits outside of that, right?
Yes, I definitely love to help people build. My brain doesn't really turn off. I have ideas. If you tell me you have a business, I'm trying to think about how you can make money or who I can connect you with. So that's really one of my passions, is trying to help boost other people's businesses.
And then, of course, your other baby, Borton Transportation.
Yes, board and transportation just came about because we had the contract with Baltimore City Public Schools, and I thought, what if they decide they're not going to have any more contractors one day? I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I want to have a backup plan, a contingency plan. And at the time, our parents, our aunts, they had started saying, "I don't want to drive at night. I can't really see at night. Pick us up." We would have family affairs or go places. So I would send someone from the consulting business to pick them up. Our son was a teenager. He and his friends were going to the mall, going to games, everything. So basically, we had a transportation service for free. And I decided to say, we're doing this anyway, let's monetize it. And I really enjoy service. And I didn't realize how much you could serve people in the transportation industry. But what I do realize is that you really can serve people in any capacity, in any business, if that's what you aim to do. And I love it. I really do enjoy the transportation business.
Awesome. So tell them what type of vehicles can they rent from you?
You can rent sedans, SUVs, vans, limos, sprinters, party buses, coach buses. We do all types of transportations, groups, small groups, large groups, you name it, whatever you want.
Sprinter.
I said sprinter.
Okay.
But no, we do a lot. We do a lot. Wine tours, activities. If you want to go places and you don't want to drive, call us. Or if you want to
Yeah.
make it special, it really is special I remember when we first got married, and I wanted to make sure that we continued to date. So we got married in January, but then we had a ceremony in March. That April, we had tickets to go see Jennifer Hudson, and I wanted to make it special. We were going to DC, so I hired a service to pick us up. And when I called us, I wanted a limo. I didn't even know that there were other vehicles that you could rent. I just knew limo. But I rented an SUV, and we loved it. We enjoyed sitting back riding. I enjoyed the look on her face when it pulled up. It was just really nice. It was different, and so I enjoyed doing that for other people, and making it affordable. I still want to make money, but I also know how I felt when I had to write that check that day. So I decided that I didn't want to do that much, and that I wanted to be a little bit more flexible.
Well, I can say that I utilized your transportation services several times, and it's always been professional. The last couple of times my husband rented a car for us to just relax and do exactly what you said. We wanted to just not have to worry about parking and all that traffic at MGM, and we were going to a concert, and I told my friends, I was like, look, you can ride with us, and they wanted to be cheap. So they got stuck in traffic, almost missed the beginning of the concert, but we was there ahead of time, ready, relaxed,
And that's
So
the key, relax. It makes it different.
And you don't have to worry about parking because you're getting dropped off at the door and picked up at the door.
Yes.
Makes a difference. Hey, Celeste. Yep.
As soon as you say DC, I have a headache. But if you say a driver to DC, I don't have a headache. I'm relaxed. But in my mind, I'm already thinking, oh, the traffic. Oh, what time should we leave? Oh, this is going to happen. But it takes that away. And it's hard to enjoy yourself when you have all this going into it. Then you try to have a nice dinner or whatever's going on. And then you're stressed out thinking about the drive back.
Yes. So that's so true. So true. And you guys, I just love you guys. Such a power couple. And not only do you have these entities, but you believe in sharing with others. Like, you don't have to do your makeup to show others how to do makeup. You don't have to give back to students and try to get them to love themselves with, giving them a little lip gloss here and there, and, just doing special things for other people. And then Lisa always with her consultant that you can't pay her for, you offer, but she was like, no. And the ideas, you give her ideas, she help you to just embellish on that idea. And or always helping with, we recently, shout out to Board and Transportation, recently, what was it last Saturday, we trauma advocacy group, we had a client who needed to move, a senior citizen, and she didn't have the funds to move. And so I just posted it on Facebook, and in less than 5 minutes, I'm getting a text message from Lisa, give me the details. And it was just as simple as that. And you guys just bless so many people, and that's why I'm sure your marriage is blessed and you individually are blessed, because I believe that it's a blessing to be a blessing, and you guys are definitely a blessing to so many. So on behalf of probably millions of people, I thank you. I publicly thank you guys, because you guys are amazing. You really are.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. It's our passion. It's just what's inside of us to pull somebody up, or to give somebody information, or just to make a difference in some way.
Right. It's so important, and people don't understand. And especially some people who quote unquote make it. Once they make it, they kind of like look down upon other people, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can help to lift each other, and everybody can be winners at the table. So
that's right.
I definitely do thank you guys. So can you guys well, first, let's talk a little bit about stocks before I let you go, Lisa, because that's your new baby. And I've been hearing you talk more about it. And I want you to share if you have your dates for your classes. And Kelly, I want you to share if you have your dates for your makeup classes as well. But you can go first, Lisa.
My the new organization that I started is Black Girl Stock Inc. And I started it because as I learn things, I try to pass it on to other people. But I think about how much money kids can have if they build, if we teach them early. But we can't teach them if we don't know ourselves. So if we can, the more people we know, the more money that can be made if we get in earlier and earlier. I always use the example, if we had gotten in on Amazon at $62 a share, it's now $3,300 a share. It happened in our lifetime, but we didn't know anything about it. Just like now, DoorDash, it's publicly trading, and Airbnb is happening in our lifetime. If we can get in on it early, in 20 years, how much will these shares be worth? So did I say a date for a class? March 14th? I'm not really sure. I don't even want to say. I can't remember if I want to do it March 14th or March 21st. But I will post it if you follow my at Black Girl Stock Inc. page on Instagram. I try to post tips, or just post information about different companies if you want to start buying stocks. I've been recently showing that you can break it down. Sometimes it seems so overwhelming when someone says get involved in the stock market. Oh, I must need thousands of dollars to get involved. I don't have the money. It could be $10. It could be $5. Just get started. And if you buy fractions of shares, you can buy fractions of shares with Robinhood and Stockpile. You don't have to have money to buy a full share. Just get started. And I'll help you as much as I can along the way.
Awesome. Yes, and she's going to partner with Empowered Women in Business International to do a class for us and all of our guests. So we'll be posting and advertising shortly. So Lisa, tell us about your makeup class that's coming up. Do you have one coming up? Lisa. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at Kelly and I'm saying,
she got so excited.
I will have a master class coming up, but you have to take Kelly's class in order to qualify to take my class.
Oh, okay.
So I do one class per month, and it's usually toward the end of the month, like the last Sunday in each month. And I post it and then put the link on the post to my website, and you can go right through the website to check out. And as soon as people register for class, it generates an email that will send them what I suggest they bring for class, and we connect via Zoom. And it's usually 5 to 7, and we usually have a really good time. We start at the basics, with breaking down what a full face looks like, just a nude look, and then transition that nude daytime look into an evening look.
Okay. So would you say, like, once you finish that class, then my face will look like yours?
And I always tell people, once you take the class and you kind of understand the techniques, it still takes practice. But once you understand it, I've seen people where they're like, wow, since I've taken the class, I'm actually doing so much better. And then when they come on watch Makeup Monday, I say, we laugh and we joke on Makeup Monday, but the basis of Makeup Monday is makeup. So bring your tools and your products to Makeup Monday, and while you're laughing, do makeup along with me as I'm doing makeup.
Yes.
So that's what I always suggest. But yeah. And then I've had people take multiple classes just to kind of, get refreshers and maybe start with the basic and then take, some of the more advanced classes. But they definitely give, little tips and tricks. And, it's a slower, more intimate setting where, it can just be broken down and I can kind of work one-on-one with you virtually.
Yes, and I love her products. I have some actually right here in my personal makeup. You can probably see this is almost gone.
Yes, red velvet.
Yes, then I have my
coconut balm.
Oh my goodness, I have a little bit of everything. I'm not even gonna pull out this bag.
I know you got your purple lipsticks, your eyeshadows. Yeah, you do.
So I'm saying that to say, guys, check out her website because her makeup, I love it. I'm always wearing it. I have the foundation on right now.
Oh, thank you.
I forgot the name of it, but
Nina.
Yes. So, check out the website. You guys want to leave your website and contact information for everybody that's tuned in tonight?
Yes. So my website is www.flawlessfacesmakeupartistry.com. And again, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm not on there as much, but you can find me on there just at Flawless Faces Makeup Artistry. And for the Makeup Monday Live at 9 p.m. every Monday, it is on my personal page, which is Kelly Bay Borton on Facebook. And we're also on YouTube, Flawless Faces Makeup Artistry.
Awesome. Thank you.
You can find us at www.bordentransportation.com. That's BORDEN. And Borden Transportation on Facebook and Instagram. We're currently having a raffle, which the drawing is on Thursday. It is, we're raffling off a chance to have a private movie theater for 2, or really up to 20 people, because once we rent the movie theater, it's up to you. But I digress. And dinner for 2, dessert for 2, and transportation to the movie theater in a Mercedes Sprinter. We also have 9 other prizes. The tickets are $20, and like I said, the drawing is Thursday. We love to give away a bunch of different prizes, so you have many, many chances to win.
Yes, I recently won 20% off, 10% off, 7% off.
Like a gift card.
Huh?
It probably was like a gift card, a $50 gift card or a 10, because we give away gift cards either $50 or $100.
Oh, okay. I won something recently, and I was just so thankful because I don't ever win things like that. So I was so surprised to win. I was like, eh. But so I'm so excited at, you guys, like I said, are such a blessing to others. I can't wait to see what else God has in store for you guys. You're amazing. Keep doing all of the great work that you're doing and striving with your businesses. I just can't thank you guys enough on behalf of the whole community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on Empower Women in Business International. I hope you had a good time. And
Thanks
you
for
guys, you always are welcome here. Just send your I miss how to do the raffle. Someone wants to know how to. Oh, that's my sister-in-law. She wants to know how to do the raffle.
If you go to our Instagram page, you'll see the link in case you don't catch it. But it's www.ultimatedateraffle6.eventbrite.com. So you can get your
one more time, Lisa.
You say it again slow.
Ultimate Date Night 6, the number 6.eventbrite.com.
All right. And I'm sure she'll go back to this live and post it in the comment section. So if anyone is interested, and how long is that running for?
It's till Thursday at like 5:45 because the drawing is at 7 on our Instagram page.
Awesome. So 7:00 Thursday. So make sure you get your raffles in now. She said she got it. All right. So thank you, ladies, again for coming on Empower Women in Business International. We love to have you guys on. We have to stay in contact and have you guys come back again. So thank you. Enjoy your holiday, your Valentine's Day.
Holiday!
Don't get in trouble. She gave you that look.
She hates what I sing, but I love it. I want to make people smile, and so that's what I do.
I feel you. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to just sing to you as I walk down the aisle, and he said, that's okay. He's like, thank you, but that's okay. So thank you guys again for being on. Make sure that you lock it here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Empowered Women in Business International Radio. And remember, individually we can do great things, but collectively we can forever change the world by Nick Mosby. I'll see you back next Tuesday at 7 p.m.